Good morning, students of class 10. Today, once again, I am explaining chapter 1's unit 3 till operators. I have explained. Today, I am starting from punctuators. So, first of all, punctuators are used as special character in Java. Okay, these are the punctuators are like comma, semicolon and dots. These are the punctuators and are special characters in Java programming. Separators. Okay, separators like comma, bracket, curly braces. These things separates variables and characters both. Okay, keywords. Okay, what is keywords? Like class name, class, like system, int, float. These are the keywords. Keywords means its meaning is already defined in the system compiler. Okay, if you will declare data type, variable or any constant as a keyword, that system will not accept. Its meaning is already defined in the system compiler. Okay, next we have to understand data types. So data types, what are the data types? Data types are basically refer to the type of data. Okay, a memory location can hold. What kind of data our memory location will hold? Our RAM, what kind of data will store, that we have to study in data types. Okay, we need to store a variable. The respective data type must be mentioned so that the system may structure the memory location for its proper storage. When we declare a variable, its data type should be appropriately given, that then memory can store the data in the proper location. For that only we give data type. So data types are two types. First, primitive data types, and second, non-primitive data type. Okay, in the primitive data type we have numeric types and non-numeric types. So numeric means integers and floats. Integer, I have told you, without fraction part, without decimal point, and floating numbers are with decimal points. These two types numbers are there only in the use. Non-numeric data types are characters and booleans. Characters may be single letter, maybe one word or one line, and boolean will execute either true or false. Okay, non-primitive data types, class, array, interfaces. These are the user-defined data types. Okay, user creates these types of data types for their need. Okay, class we create ourselves. Okay, according to our need. Interface, array. Okay, with these things we will study later in the programming section. Now primitive data types we are understanding. Okay, what our book is telling, primitive data types are the basic or fundamental data types used to declare a variable. Mostly primitive data type we use to declare a variable. For example, we have data type byte b and b equal to 5. We have declared a variable b, data type byte. We have declared a variable as data type sort and data type int. So primitive data types we use to declare a variable. Okay, So that is also come under two types. First is numeric data types and second is real data types, which I have told you on the top. Okay, integer and floats. So numeric data types are used to declare a variable that can be numeric data type in classified into the following two types. Okay, first is integer type and second is real type. Numeric data types we divide into two parts. First is integer type and second is float. So byte is also 1 byte equal to 8 bits. You know very well. These things you have studied already in the previous classes. Okay, integer type byte b. Okay, and b is a declared as a byte data type and b equal to 5. Sort is also integer type data. We take sort value. Okay, in if we are declaring sort integer. Okay, sort as equal to 25 and 25 is small sort integer. Long int we take n equal to 345. So this is the not short or not long. This is the medium data type. It stores 32 bits. Okay, 4 bytes, 32 bits. It will allow to take data in the memory. So 345 come under the 32 bits data storage. Long data type L, I am writing here L equal to 1 2 3 4. Okay, actually it is 1234. So this is long data type we are declaring. It allows you to store 64 bits data. Okay, so according to the numbers you can declare data type. If you are having long numbers, then you declare long. If you are having short numbers, then you take short. Normal numbers if you are taking, then you int. Okay, like this you can declare your data type according to the numbers. Real type we have float. First variable declare under this type contain floating point data. Okay, floating point f float f equal to 6.32. By seeing this constant number I can understand. So this is floating point number because decimal point is given here 6.32. So this we have decimal point, that's why it will be floating type data type. Okay, and double, if decimal points are large, so we will declare double. Okay, represent a fractional number with wide range value up to 64 bits. Okay, 64 bits data. Double D equal to 0.1234567679. Okay, so we have a large decimal points, that's why we are declaring data type double here. So we have to understand before writing data types what kind of number we will write in the program. According to that we have to declare our data type. Okay, next precision on the of the data types means if data point decimal point is not ending. Suppose 5 if you are dividing 5 by 6, then this will come 0.8333 and 33 will go till infinity. Okay, so it will go infinity. So that's why we will not get accurate result. And if you are declaring this under this float. Okay, so a float data type has the capacity to store number up to 32 bits only. Okay, so up to 7 significant digits it will allow you to, it will show you. Okay, only 7 significant digits. Suppose if you are declaring data type float and dividing 5 by 6, then you will get p equal to 0.833333, only 7 digit. Okay, after that a float has no capacity to display more decimal points. Okay, and if you want more decimal point, then you declare data type double. Okay, so here type more precision. If you declare p as a double data type, it will store up to 15 significant digit. Hence p equal to 0.88333. Okay, so it will show till 14 times. Okay, double is allowing double than float. Okay, 14 times decimal points are allowed here in double data types. That's why according to your need, this is called precision of data. Okay, it will stop till given range. Okay, non-numeric data types we have. Non-numeric data types here. Non-numeric data types here we write character, single character or a set of characters that are two types. First character types and second is boolean type. Okay, in character type also we have two types. First is single character and second is string. So a variable is declared to a character type when it is hold a character literal. So char, suppose we write character in short char c equal to x, capital X. Under this apostrophe we are writing this is constant and this c is a variable. Okay, a set of character includes within double quotes is termed as a string. Here string you have to write before a variable to declare a string value, and as variable equal to computer we are including under this double quote. It means this computer word is string value. Now boolean we have either a true or false. Okay, boolean store a literal, boolean literal. The variable must be declare boolean b equal to, before b you have to write boolean. Okay, b equal to true. It will come either true or false. Okay, so here don't write it in note. It is telling that don't write boolean under the double quote, so it will be assumed as a string. Okay, that's why don't include in a single in a double quote your boolean data. Okay, now declaration and initialization. Declaration means we are declaring anything and we are declaring a variable. Okay, declaration means what? We are declaring a variable. What kind of variable you are taking? Integer type, float type, character type, double type. And initialization, after taking variable we are giving value of the variable. Here int a is a variable declaration. A is a variable. Okay, its value is not mentioned yet. Int a, data type is integer and a is a variable, its value is not mentioned yet. And in the next line a equal to 5, this is variable initialization. If you are declaring a variable, that is variable declaration, and if you are giving value of a variable, that will be called initialization of a variable. Okay, a equal to 5 means what kind of data type is it? It is a type of integer data type. Okay, so first of all the variable a is declared to hold an integer type data type. Okay, next, default initialization. Okay, if a variable is not initialized but is used in the program, okay, not initialized, if you are not giving the value of variable, only you are declaring a variable, then the system initialize it implicitly with a specific value called default initial value. Okay, if you are declaring a variable but you are not giving value of the variable, in that case system will generate automatic value, okay, for the variable in the memory. Here integer in int a is taken but value of a is not initialized, then system will generate default initial value a equal to 0. Okay, if anybody is asking in Java what is the default value of integer, then 0. Float f equal to 0.0 f. Okay, double d equal to 0.0 d. Care apostrophe backslash u for 0. String like this you will see, and the default value of boolean is false. Okay, here this means blank space character. Okay, this means, so it is good practice to initialize the value of the variable or implicitly. Okay, if you are not, implicit means at the time of declaration of a variable you are giving the value, and explicit means you are not giving the value at the time of declaration a variable, you will give the value at the time of execution of the program. Okay, here static and dynamic initialization, very simple. Static means at the time of variable declaration, if you are giving value, suppose int a equal to 5, this is static initialization. And dynamic, you are not giving the value at the time, only declaring a variable, and value you are passing at the time of getting output, runtime, that is called dynamic initialization. What our book is telling, that also we have to see. Static initialization is a way to store a value directly to a variable. Okay, directly we are putting value in the variable by using assignment operator we are giving. Okay, for example, integer int a equal to 10, this is the static initialization I have told you. At the time of declaration, if you are giving the value, that is called static initialization. Float f equal to 2.45, this is static initialization, like that. All these things are given here. And dynamic initialization is used to initialize a variable at runtime, when your program will be completed, and at the time of executing program you will enter the value of variables, that is called dynamic initialization. During the execution of the statement, this system, the variable is initialized with the value which is the outcome of the some expression or a function. Here integer, we have three variables here, a, b and c. You see, we are using separator here, comma, to separate the variables, and this is also separated. Now c equal to, c is an I am telling this equal to, but this is the assignment operator. Okay, but as usual I am telling this equal to, c equal to a plus b, c equal to a plus b. So at the time of execution we will give the value of a and b, then we will get the value of c, like this. In the list it is given. Non-primitive data types, we have non-primitive data types is one that is derived from primitive data types. Okay, we take non-primitive data types with the help of primitive data types. Okay, in other words, a number of primitive data types are used together to represent a non-primitive data types. Non-primitive data types, I have told you already, array, class and interfaces. These are the non-primitive. But to create a non-primitive data type, we use primitive data type. Okay, type conversion. So type conversion I am telling you, this is very easy. Mathematical expression is defined as a set of variable, constant and operators. A B, C are A, B, C are here variable. 4 is a constant, plus, into, minus, these are the operators. Okay, so in this expression, this is not an statement, in this expression A, B and C are variables, 4 is a constant, and plus, minus, into are the arithmetical operators. Okay, so here this is called pure arithmetical expression. Why? Because we are giving everything in one data type. What data type is given here? Integer data type. A is also in integer, B is also in integer, B is also integer, C is also integer, and 4 is also in integer. Okay, but in the second example here, A into B plus C divided by 2, here when we will divide C by 2, then the value may come in a decimal point. So this is impure expression. Why? Because here 2.0 should be given, it is not given 2.0. And suppose A into B, this is in integer, then C by 2 is in float. So if data type are mixed, that is called impure arithmetical expression. Okay, so that is also called type conversion. Okay, here next I am telling you implicit type conversion. Okay, so implicit and explicit, there are two types of data conversion. When we write any expression or statement, then that arithmetical calculation completed itself in implicit type conversion. Either it may be a single data type or mixed data type. Okay, the value will be executed in the highermost data type, and the highermost data type, by in hierarchy of this you can understand, the most highest data type is double, and the second most highest data type is float, the third most highest data type is long. Okay, like this list is given here, hierarchy of data types. Okay, so double is the highest most data type. Okay, for example, in this diagram, int A long, B long, C, two data types are in long and one data type in A, integer. So it is clear that value will come in long. Why? Because the long is the highest data type. Okay, high range data type. C equal to A plus B. Okay, A is an integer and B is long. So after calculation, after plus, the value will come in long. Why? Because B is the highest data type, highest, it keeps high value. Okay, so value will come in long. Next, and that will be by default in the implicit conversion. If 2-3 different data types are given, the data will be displayed in the most highest data type. Okay, but that will be by default automatically. User does not interfere in the program. Okay, without any intervention of the user. But in the explicit data conversion, it is another types of data conversion in which the data type of the result in a mixed mode expression. Okay, here also it is mixed, but it is the user's choice that which data type he want to get as a result. Okay, suppose int A, float B and char C, three data types are given here. Data should be displayed in the float. Okay, but user is giving emphasis on characters. He wants data in character. Okay, so d equal to char a plus b into c. After calculation in this bracket, value will be converted into char, then result you will get in char. Okay, d will be in character. The example shown at a, b and c are different types of data. Okay, the result should implicitly be in highermost float type. Okay, but the user demands the result in char type, which is a lower type among all the data types. Char is the lower data type, hence the system is forced, okay, to provide a char type result using typecasting. This process, if we are forcing any data type to execute, that is called typecasting. Okay, while char is the lower data type, then also system will display in char. This is called explicit data type. Okay, students, this unit third is completed. I am sending next video very soon. Thank you very much. Watch this video. Thank you.